All right, everybody, welcome back to another Client Spotlight series. I'm Katrina Marie, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about the success of one of my clients. Her name is Praseetha, and I'm so excited to share her journey as we work together over the last couple weeks. And Praseetha, how are you today?
Hi, Katrina. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well, thank you. And it's been quite the journey that I've had with you. And I'm excited to share that with everyone as well.
Perfect. Awesome. I'm so excited for you to share as well. Praseetha, do you mind sharing with my listeners a little bit about where you were in your career before you joined my private coaching?
Um, so I think we started about a couple of weeks, maybe 3 to 4 weeks, I think, when I had the first conversation with you. And at that point of time, I was in a place where there's a lot of, questioning myself, doubting myself as to where I'm supposed to be, if I'm in the right place. Is there something more that I can do and more I can offer? And if there is, like, in some way there is a missing link that's stopping me from giving my full potential. So I think that's where I was before I reached out to you. And I remember that I saw your post on LinkedIn, and it really resonated with where I was at that point. Um, because I'm looking for opportunities that align with my vision, that align with my values, and something that I'm really looking forward to. And when I saw your post, and I realized, yes, that's exactly my thought process. That's exactly where I am. And that's when I reached out to you, saying maybe, if this could help me, just to kind of as a space to reflect on where I am as a professional in the field, in Dubai especially, and to see if this could give me something to grow a little bit as well. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, you mentioned that you saw my post on LinkedIn, which is where I post most of the time. What did you feel when you saw the Confident Counselor program offer? When you saw that post?
Um, as I think mental health professionals, we don't get as much guidance. I feel like, yes, we do our training, we do our qualifications and all of that, and we go into the workforce, But every once in a while, I think it's helpful to kind of just stop and, like, reflect on how far you've come and where you want to go from here. And I think the feeling that brought up for me was, I think excitement that, yes, okay, this is something that I've been looking for, some sort of a guidance, some sort of a way to kind of check in with myself as to how can I do better as a professional in the field. So I think I was excited. I was curious about what this is and how this can help me as well to grow. So yeah, those were the feelings that came up for me. And yeah, it was mostly excitement, curiosity, and joy of finding something that I resonate with.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. So I know that you were a bit on the fence when we first started chit-chatting. You messaged me pretty quickly after that post. And why did you decide? What gave you that feeling to say, I'm going to go for it? What helped you make that decision to decide to work with me?
You were kind of very honest, because what I was looking for and what you were offering was not completely, exactly what I was looking for, but you were still kind enough to offer the services in a way that helped me in what I was looking for. So you were not like, this is what I do, and this is what I can do, and that's it. It was not that, but you were able to tailor it to what I needed at that point, which was kind of different from what you offer as well, which was something that I really appreciated. So I think that's one reason why I felt like, okay, this could be good. Another thing is also the structure that you offer, and you're kind of very clear on what the process will be. This is what it would look like, and you're kind of very intentional about what the focus of the program would be, what and also about what you were very clear on what I needed. It was not just about what you were offering, or this is what I do and this is what the program, this is what we do. but it was more about what are you looking for? What do you need from at the end of this program? And you really made me look into what I needed. And it was not just about, here you go, this is something that we do, and maybe this will help you, maybe this wouldn't. And it was very personalized, and that kind of helped me to make that decision a little faster.
Oh, yes. I remember that you were a little bit hesitant about the overall full picture of the Confident Counselor program. And yeah, we were able to identify the key areas that you needed to focus on. And we got laser super precision, laser precision focus on you. And that was what I was able to deliver in our time together. And what would you say were the top three-ish things you learned since you signed up, and what maybe had the biggest impact on your results?
The first thing would be my presence on LinkedIn, which was close to nil. But I have recognized that the value it could bring to you as a professional, for your network, for your growth. It's not just about job opportunities. It is about building that community around you, which you never know. It could kind of, it's something that you could lean on in times when you might really need it. So I think that's the biggest thing that I have kind of picked up from here. And also, you've helped me to plan out how to do it, and maybe this is the way you could do it. So it's not just about, okay, you have to post more on LinkedIn. It's not just about that, but it's about, like, how do you do it, and how can you maybe connect with people in a way that's more personal and more intentional, and not just like connecting with generally anybody and everybody, but people who are again aligned with where you are and your professional space. But also maybe you could add this to make it a little bit more personal. So it's not, so that's what I think the biggest thing was, because I think earlier it was just about adding anyone who I might come across, but now it's about, okay, this is somebody who's similar to me in terms of this, or in this education, or this kind of experience, and maybe connecting with this person will help me learn from them, or pick up a few ideas that they are doing in their professional space. So it was more meaningful and intentional way of connecting with people. I think that would be the first one. The second would be to obviously elevate my profile as a professional in the field in Dubai, and kind of having that extra set of eyes really helped me to look at that perspective and say, okay, maybe this is what it comes across, and I need to change this and change that. So I think it really helped me to elevate my profile, having you kind of give your feedback and as a third perspective, and what it looks like, or what is a perception that this might give off. So I think those were things that really helped me as well. And also, because the one that I mentioned before, it really helped me, the process like really helped me reflect on what I want, and what I need. So I think I was not expecting it to be vulnerable, but it did get vulnerable, because you really asked questions that stopped me from seeing myself in a certain way, in the future. Like, so it was helpful for me to kind of find those blind spots, and just remind myself every now and then where this is coming from, and it's not necessarily true. So it really helped me become aware of my own blind spots and what's maybe stopping me from growing as well.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing all of those amazing shifts that you gained from us working together. I remember our first meeting, we set 3 priorities, and that's the very beginning of when we worked together. And so, how did you find the coaching calls and the overall vibe of, let's say, our time together?
Um, it I it really helped in a way that it was easy to connect with you. I think your way of building relationships is you make it quite smooth, and it's not very like, just cut and cut. And, it's not like that. We're here to do this and let's finish that and then let's wrap up. It's not just that, but you also have, I think, a genuine interest in me as a person, not just as a professional. So that really helped me again become more open and really give in to the process in a way. I did not hold back. I would not have been able to be that vulnerable if I had held myself back. So I think your approach and your presence really is quite warm. That made me feel comfortable enough to share what I wanted to share, and uh, which I felt like you would keep that confidential. You would keep it hold that space for me in a way that will only help me to kind of grow, and not as a way to just okay, and let's move on kind of thing. But it really, you translated that into how that might be playing out for me in my career. So I think that warm relationship building that you had, that those skills that you kind of came with, that really helped me to open up. And that, I think, that is the first step for any kind of relationship, right? So I think that was the one that helped me to then open myself up to the process and really take in what you're giving me. It's not easy to just start making changes when you start meeting someone just for like a couple of sessions, and then you can't make such huge changes if you don't feel comfortable with them, or if you don't have that relationship with them. So I think in a short span of time, you've been able to create that space, and hold that space for me. So yeah, I think that would be the biggest win.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. I do my very best to hold space for each and every private client, because I always tell you guys, this is your time. This is your time to be selfish, to focus on you, what your desires are, what you need out of this experience. And as a counselor myself, it's super important to build trust and to build that ability, to have that ability to have, that communication and the right questions to feel safe and, being vulnerable, as you mentioned. And then once you get through all of that, we're able to make,
Yeah.
progress.
But also, like, it was not just about, like, you would also make time in such a way that, okay, it's not just about the personal touch, but you're also very focused on what we need to achieve in this call, and you're very focused on that. And you would always check in with me as to, where are you today, and are you okay with going ahead with this? So even though you had that, quite the balance about making sure that relationship is intact, that the other person is comfortable and is on the same page as you, but you're also quite focused on, this is what we need to do today, and this is what we're going to kind of work on from this time to this time. So all of that was quite reassuring.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. What would you say to someone, Praseetha, that is secretly thinking about joining, but is afraid to take that leap?
Um, it's always hard to make that decision. But I think, as the famous saying or famous quote, something that I've come across is that there's always, on the other side of fear, or the other side of the worry or the anxiety is growth, and is more like happiness and things like that. So for me, if there's something that's scary for you, maybe it means that that's something, you have something that you can learn from that, because that shouldn't stop us from like doing something just because something is scary or something is too vulnerable or something that's new. So I think if you're scared, if you're hesitant, but if you're still on the fence about like whether to do this program or not, I would really, some of the things that you could ask yourself is, are you ready to break down those walls? Are you ready to kind of, check in with yourself and see, are you ready to grow more from where you are? Or are you like, okay with where you are right now? So that is a question that you could ask. It really, I think, would help you to find a different perspective. into the hiring process and into how a recruitment agency or recruiter would really think. And I think you give that perspective as well. So because we're always on the other side, right? I'm always on the other side of the recruitment process and the hiring process, and very less likely to get any feedback from the recruiter side. So it's always helpful to get a little bit of feedback from the other side and what you see it as and how that comes across. And having that perspective is really helpful for anyone who is in the space of looking for a better opportunity or anything like that. So I think just giving yourself that chance of seeing, could you maybe do more? Could you maybe be in a more satisfying place? And maybe if you are, then maybe this is definitely a platform that you could try out and see if you could, learn from it.
Absolutely. And I already love how you're like using like the counselor style questions, like just with the self-assessment, the self-reflection. I love it.
And you can't get off that hat. I'm always wearing that.
And that's part of confidence, right? So, I mean, this is what why I love connecting with people who want to build that confidence, but already actually have it within them, deeply ingrained. And really, I'm just kind of the catalyst or the person to help remind you of how badass you are and how brilliant you are, and to be absorbed in that energy. So amazing opportunities and wins show up in your life. Praseetha, is there anything else you'd like to share with my viewers today?
I think I've kind of said whatever I wanted to say, coming from a genuine place. But I would just want to reiterate that if there is anyone who is, in that place where they're doubting themselves, or they want to maybe see how much more they can do, I think this is a program that they would really benefit from, even if it's not like, in terms of a job role or a change in the job role. At least it's a way to reflect on yourself and to reflect on where you want to go. It really gives that clarity, I think, on what you want to do from here on. Where do you see yourself, and how do you manage to kind of achieve that? And so it's quite like, it's not just very vague, or it's not like, it's very to the point. And you bring a lot of focus as to what are the action plans towards this, what are you going to do to achieve this, and you also hold us accountable to those things. We discuss a few things, and it's not just you leave it at that, but you follow it up. And I find that motivating, and it really helped me to like get down to it and make sure I do those things. So that really helps me, to kind of look at the things that I need to do. It's no longer the things that maybe I'll put a post here and there, but it's become like something that it's important. It's important for my professional space and for that network, and to keep myself visible and in that setting. So I think it would really, giving yourself this program is I think a way for you to show that you are invested in yourself and your growth. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that beautiful feedback. I know somebody is probably on the fence thinking about joining, and I think your pearls of wisdom and the experience that you have shared today will help them make a decision that feels right for them. So if you are not familiar with what I'm talking about the Confident Counselor Program. It is a 2-month experience where I help you learn all the college counseling skills alongside getting hired in top premium international schools, alongside many other things. I will share all the details below so you can learn a little bit more about the program, but it is a one-to-one private coaching container, and you will not come out the same. You will come out 10 times better, I promise, if not more. So thank you so much, Praseetha, and thank you everybody for joining us today.
Thank you.